Hi everyone. So I've just started this channel to kind of share some information about me and something I've learned about myself. And if you've made your way here, it's either you just went online and you found out about people that don't have an inner monologue, or people who don't see pictures in their heads, or you're somebody like me who a week ago found out people see pictures in their head and they're not a crazy person in a movie. um, yeah, so last week there was a tweet going around saying something about like, oh, did you know there's people that, don't have an inner monologue. They don't talk to themselves in their head. And I was on Reddit and I saw this thread, and of course, Reddit ruined my life. Not just kidding. So there was this thread talking about it, people talking about if they had an inner monologue or not. And I went there because I don't have one, and I thought it would be interesting to hear people. How do you deal with a voice in your head? I have no idea. But anyway, so I thought it would be cool to just read about. And as I'm going through it, somebody said, well, let me really blow your mind. There's people out there who don't see pictures in their head. What? I have never in my life heard anything that like was going to make my head explode more than that. People out there see pictures in their head. I don't even understand how this is possible. To me, it sounds like a superhero power. You guys are all superheroes, and I'm like the last non-X-Men on the planet. There was this lovely article written by, I'm sorry, I really forget his name, but I'll link it below. He was one of the founders of Firefox, and he wrote this thing because he has aphantasia. And I read it and I'm like, that's me. It was so emotional to read that and to learn this about yourself. Because, I've heard things my life, like picture this, imagine in your head. But I thought everybody was imagining things the way I do. Now it dawns on me, image is an imagination, you know. So I thought everybody, it was just this idea, like when, if you'd go somewhere and they'd say like, oh, think of a beach. I thought it was just a way to help you feel relaxed, get that beach state of mind, right? You're sitting on the beach and you're not stressed about stuff. I didn't think people were actually seeing a beach. Imagining people naked when you give a speech. You guys are sick. No, honestly, it never dawned on me that that you guys can actually do this thing. So the first day when I heard it, first I thought it was a hoax. I still kind of think it's a hoax because I still don't understand how it works. At first I thought it was a hoax. And then when I started reading more and more and more, I definitely was very upset. It is very tragic to find out that you are missing out on almost fundamental human experience that you had never heard of, that you didn't realize was happening. It's like if you woke up tomorrow and you went downstairs and your mom was like, it's cute, you keep sending me these text messages, but can you just use your telepathy and talk to me? And you're like, what are you talking about? You can use telepathy? And that's how it feels for me. Honestly, it's like I woke up and like, I'm the clown. So it's hard and it's tragic. I think for me, the hardest things have been, one, that I don't have the memories of my loved ones that you guys get to have. I can think about my kids. I can think about my husband. I know, I have, it's like my brain has all of their characteristics in it. So I can tell you, what color hair they have, what color eye they have, this kind of thing. But I can't picture them. Honestly, I can't even picture myself if I'm not looking in a camera or mirror, I have no idea what I look like either. And in fact, when I was younger, I would always like look at a picture and be like, that's what I look like. Yeah, so it's hard knowing that like there's everybody else, that means my kids, has a more vivid memory of them than I do. So that's really hard. The other one is books. I'm so jealous. You know, you guys read and you get to see it. Like I'm a voracious reader. Like I read 150 books last year, and I didn't see any of it. I know what's going on. I read it and I read what's going on, but I don't get the movie. Yeah, it's crazy. So I kind of wanted to do this video in case, you know, there's other people out there like me that just found out and you're upset. Because I was a mess. I actually did this video a few days ago with a lot more crying. So if you just found out and you're really sad, I just want you to know, like, I've been there, and I still feel loss. And you should be able to grieve however you want to grieve. You know, like sometimes when you talk to people about this problem, they might not believe it, or they might say it's no big deal, but it is. You know, I went through kind of this existential crisis, like what it means to be human and what humanity is, because I'm missing out on something that like nearly every other human's brain can do and mine can't do. So it led to a lot of questions about my existence and what's going to happen. So if you're having an existential crisis, I totally understand. But it does get better. I'm still sad about it. I'm still crazy jealous about it. But I don't want to go live in a cabin in the woods anymore, which was kind of my first thought. Like, I'll just run off and disappear because this is awful. So it does get better. If you need people to talk to, there's a lovely group on Facebook. If you just search for Aphantasia, you'll find it. Or if you want to email me or message me here, totally cool. Because I know it's really hard. So that's the first thing. I just wanted to kind of share my feelings about finding out. The next thing is, I think right now going around the internet is kind of that Aphantasia star test. And maybe you found this video because you took that star test and you didn't see the star. It's not a perfect test. Some people that I've talked to, they kind of think like when you close your eyes and think of the star, you're supposed to see it kind of on your eyelids. And that's not necessarily the case. It seems like there's quite a spectrum for how you guys visualize. I was talking to my husband about it because I can't wrap my head around it at all. He said like when he visualizes, it's like he sees it behind his eyeballs. Does that help you? So like if you think about the star, you don't have to have your eyes closed to see it. If your eyes are open and you think about it, do you like see it behind your eyeballs? Another one is like if I tell you, think about your dream house. What color is it? How many windows does it have? You asked me to do this and I don't see anything. There's no visuals. If I close my eyes, it's black. I don't. There's nothing. If I tell you, think of a dog. Okay, is it a certain breed? What color is it? Is it doing something? Are you seeing something? Did you get a flash? Even if you just got a flash, then you don't have aphantasia. I think honestly the biggest thing is if you hear that there's people out there who have never seen anything in your brain and you're like, people see things in their brain, then you might have it. So hopefully that clears it up. I've talked to a few people, and it seems like not everybody is able to project their visualization. So some people have visualizations that are just centered in the brain, and some people can push it out there. So just because you can't push it out there doesn't mean you don't have them, right? If you can still sense them in your brain, then you're still having visualizations. There's a lot of different kinds, or I shouldn't say a lot of different kinds. There's one kind of aphantasia, but there seems to be like a spectrum of other things that go along with the aphantasia. Some of the people that I've talked to, they don't see pictures, but they do have the inner monologue. I don't have the inner monologue either. So my brain is quiet. Um, there's not, I can force myself to have an inner monologue. Like if I, if I'm preparing for something, like maybe I'm going to have a meeting with somebody and I want to make sure I have certain points, but it's not like I talk to myself about what I'm going to say. I like say something and then like, no, that doesn't sound good. I need to fix it and do like this. All I hear is exactly what I want to say. And then when I go to do it later, I'll say the same thing. I don't like adjust it in my head. I'm not like doing work on what I'm going to say in my head. Yeah, everything's very abstract, I guess. Okay, if I ask you, how are you today? You're just going to say, I'm fine. Right? Even if you're not fine, you're just going to say, I'm fine. Because we're like, it's like muscle memory for your mouth, I guess. Right? If somebody asks you that, you just say, I'm fine. Or if somebody asks, like, what color are your eyes? Blue. You don't think about it. It's just there and you say it. That's me for everything I say. So I'm never working out what I'm going to say in my head. That never happens. I think I'm trying to think of like an analogy that would help, because apparently the way I think is very different. And the best I've come up with so far, if I think of something better, I will share it. But the best I can come up with is, like in the 50s, they had the first computers, those giant computers, like big huge boxes, and there were no monitors or anything, and they had like this little like keyboard, and then they put in the information they want and it spits out like the card. Like that's all it spits out. It's just like an index card with whatever information it's supposed to be giving you. And my brain is like that. My brain is like that computer, and instead of spitting out a card, it's just spitting out the words I want to say. So yeah, it's just when I stop talking, it's quiet. So I have that. I don't do like I can't like think of a smell or a taste and remember how that tastes. Like if you tell me to think of a banana, I don't picture the banana in my head, and I don't taste the banana either. So apparently some of you can do that as well. So I can't do that. I do get songs stuck in my head, and Queen is like the worst. I'm always getting those songs stuck in my head. Why are they so catchy? I don't know. So I do get the songs stuck in my head, and they are sung by the people who sing them. It's not my voice singing this song. Apparently that's a thing, whose voice it is that sings it. I also don't dream in pictures, or at least if I do, I've never remembered one. So I haven't actually remembered a dream in a really, really long time, because I have 2 kids under 5, so like I don't really sleep. But yeah, when I remember a dream, it's more like a feeling, like how maybe a dream where you're falling. Like I'll wake up with that like your heart beating, and like like I woke up just in time and I didn't splat. But I don't see the sky or clouds or the buildings or anything. I just have that feeling. Or like maybe I was being chased by somebody and I have that feeling at the back of my neck, right, that there's somebody behind you. So that's how I wake up from a dream. As far back as I can remember, I've never dreamed in pictures. I've never visualized anything. I'm completely in reality, I guess you could say. That's not to say I don't have a memory, though. There are some people I've been learning that have aphantasia that are not very good at remembering what happened to them before. I actually, before I found out that you guys all have pictures in your head, I thought I had a photographic memory, and I thought it was kind of like a metaphor that you say photographic, because nobody actually has a photo in their head. Anyway, I'm really good at remembering things. I remember like TV shows I used to watch when I was a kid. I remember driving past our new home when my dad just bought it and I was like 5 years old. But I'm not seeing the picture. What I'm remembering is that the action. I get everything in like an info dump. Like if I try to bring up a memory, like think of something embarrassing, and then I get, and it's all there at one time. I'm not like seeing it play out. It's just I've gotten everything. And then I can tell you, oh, one time I was walking out of the campus center in university and it was windy and I had my head down and I ran into a light pole. And to you, it probably sounds like I'm seeing it in my head and it sounds pretty detailed. But to me, it's kind of just a foggy mist. And I'm just saying what came out of my brain without really thinking about it. And I will say the weird thing about my memories is they're all equal intensity. Or equal vagueness, maybe I should say. The things I did this morning are equal to the things I did 20 years ago. Like all of my memories are just like this. It's like, imagine it's like nighttime in your city and it's all in fog. So you can't really see anything, but you know where everything is. You just know it because you've been there so long, you know what it is. That's kind of like how my brain feels. If that makes sense. So yeah, so you can ask me anything and I can, I'm not good. Like if you said something like, do you remember, Cherie's red dress? No, I don't remember it. Oh, do you remember that time we were out with her and she spilled that thing on her dress? And oh, I remember that. So I'm much better with actions and events than I am with, like, if you tell me a specific, like a person, like their name or like something like that, then I'm not as good at it. But I can remember events very well. So I don't know if that's bizarre or whatever, but yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, so of course now I'm like thinking about all these things that happened to me when I was young. Anyway, so yeah, I think I'll do more videos. If you have questions, please ask. I'm happy to talk about it. If you need help, please get in touch. I'm happy to talk to you too. I think there's not a lot of information out about this, and I'd like to share what I can. I mean, it's a shock to me. I mean, I've been alive 40 years and I had no idea you guys all have movies playing in your head. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah. So I think that's it. I wanted to kind of just give like a little overview that hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully it explains some things. And yeah, if I went to high school with you and I see you on the street and I don't remember you, I'm sorry. It's my brain. It's not me. All right. Bye.